welcome back, Heroes fans, to game number 5. Such an awesome day for NA. 2 full 5-game series. I would not have it any other way, as Team 8 has chosen Sky Temple for game 5.
It's gonna be probably my favorite game 5 map. Honestly, I think it's the perfect balance of, you know, we've seen a little bit of macro strategies, we've seen the team fighting strategies, and this is a map that you can get away with a little bit of advantages in both departments, but in the end, it truly does feel like usually the better team comes ahead on Sky Temple.
And there are so many tense, scary, terrifying moments at the boss, and that's the best part. I don't know what this is. Strong!
Strong boss! Scary boss! With epic moments. Now that's a Punisher, you know, that? When he just punches the ground like a dog, like trying to dig carpet.
Nobody saw
you know?
me do that,
No.
so you could have been okay.
See, I forget sometimes that they have a different view of this world than you and I do. All right, so yeah, it is going to be Sky Temple. Used to be a popular map for the core members of Cloud9, but that is long ago. It is a new moment here for them onto the map. For Team 8, though, I mean, they've done well on the map, but they've done well on every map.
Yeah. It's a global game. Once again, for the teams, how they want to separate out the globals. I think for Team 8, they're looking to say, if we win every single early game, if we win the Temple so commandingly, resoundingly, there's no way that B-Step can come back in the game.
Yeah, no, I think that's true. You know, it is one of the best maps to be like, just like, you can't come back from that. But you know,
it's B-Step!
It's B-Step. And honestly, I'll say it, Team 8 doesn't force their issue very hard. You know, one of the biggest compliments I had for Temple Storm is they were just cutthroat. Every lead they had, they just kept going, forcing their advantage however they could. But Team 8, they have the right thought. They're like, you know, we really should be getting this fort right now. And then they go, but do we really want to? It's a little scary.
Maybe the 2 losses affecting Team 8 a lot, with a lot of hesitance. You know, they felt so confident in some of their matches, a lot of their matches in part 1, but they had no pressure on them. Now is a different story. There are a lot of expectations that Team 8 just does well out of the gate, and different people handle that pressure differently.
Yeah. B-Step, it's their, you know, they, even when banning just the classic Tacitor, they went all the way down to 0, so I expect that we have a minimum 26 seconds left.
That's all right. You know what I'm going to use those 25 seconds for?
Jamming. Bumping. They only got me on that one.
I know.
Your face is way better.
Rocking out, man.
With the Lucio.
Can we have this every draft?
I'll be honest, yeah, I'm taking it a smidge too.
I don't know if I'd ever get tired of it.
It makes you sound like you're just going fast, you know? I just always feel like I'm wall riding something when I hear something like this.
A change!
Mouth was banned! Is that a first pick Zarya I see? The answer is no. It is not.
At least not Insta.
No, it isn't the Insta. I don't think the Insta Zarya is the best bet, honestly. I don't want that. But just the fact that it was let through?
Do you recall a lot of Zarya play from B-Step? Because I'm looking at it and I do
Almost
not.
none. Just period.
I see 1. I don't think they fall for this.
They're not going to fall for the Zarya, at least. Did they pick the Vala instead, or did they go more of the global game? Go more in the global game. I think that Dahaka is going to try and force Glarong onto something. They're going to try and cripple. They're looking at Prismat. They're looking at Glarong. They're looking at the hero pools. That's when they've been most successful, right?
Yeah. And it is the team who knows Glarong arguably the best.
Yeah. That's a good point. You know, the most recent team to play with Glarong was, in fact, who was that roster? It was just CAF, K1, and iDream all 3 did?
And APM.
Yeah, that's a good point. iDream came in to replace Prismat. Yeah. All right.
Zarya what? If they pick Zarya Vala, That is Yoda. Where's that? Maybe? Yeah. They don't play a lot of Vola.
They didn't go with either. So still leaving it up.
But good on them to make sure that they can keep up the global game.
Yeah, they're going to be able to match teammate. So do we see, or excuse me, match B-Step here with teammates' last 2 picks? I'm going to be the guy, I'm going to suggest they just don't, Zarya. They don't even touch it. They just ban it in the next rotation. What do we see instead? All right, so one conundrum. You can't ban out the Zeratul if you don't pick it here. And I think that will be huge.
Because you think that B-Step has to ban Zarya?
Well, it's not that they have to, but I do think it's in their best interest. With them losing 3 picks in the later half of the draft and it all benefiting by being able to rotate Zarya, not having the next 2 picks.
That would force Glaurung on a ranged if Zarya is picked.
It's a good point.
I don't know that they have to worry about Zarya at all.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Go Murden Lucio. Double Warrior. Keeping things real for B-Step.
Lucio is correct. It feels right.
I don't know why. This is like a Knight of the Roxbury type thing, you know, just... Oh, man. That's a classic film right there. If you haven't seen that one,
It's a good one.
it's a goodie. Okay, so Team A, is there anything to shout out? You know, what backliner are they afraid of the most? And a double warrior, probably not going to be the Gray main. They haven't put focus on Vala, Liming, mid-tier on the maps. No sign of being afraid of that. So maybe... I feel like it's got to be a backliner, right? You aren't afraid of double support, double warrior, or if you are, this is the ban. You drop the Ariel ban? No way. And ban the Zarya instead. Showing they can't play it.
Okay.
Flat out. Or at least didn't want it, I guess. I would say it's more of a not play, but I can see an argument that this comp wouldn't benefit even if they could play it well. I really want this to be a Zeratul. Like, you've never seen me want to ban more in my entire life.
Are they more scared of teammates Medivh or teammates Zeratul, though?
Definitely teammates Zeratul. Teammates Medivh takes another hero to work. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Right, I'm not missing anything in Glaurung's hero pool for Sky Temple.
Medivh just sucks to play against.
I agree. I mean, the guy is a ball of frustration.
He is a fun police.
He really is. He really, you know, he can take the mood.
Then it's like, you know what? We bait some positioning. We have double warrior. We get people who have movement speed. We have Lucio. We make sure to avoid the void prison. But like the portals, the like, we've got this kill. Oh yeah, force of will. He's rough to play against. Knowing the guys of B-Step, just think maybe they're just like, we'll take the Zeratul.
I mean,
it's not a Medivh.
No, I can see them saying that too.
Yeah.
You know, like knowing those players for a very long time, they would just be like, dude, like he can play Zeratul all day, but we can just outplay it. Like we've beaten his Zeratul a million times. It's the Medivh. It's just annoying. You know, we don't want to deal with it. They give it up. So that is going to be a pretty comfortable and powerful draft for Team 8.
Yes.
B-Step get their choice of backliners now. Triple backline. I really like Greymane. A ton into 3 squishies. Who else? Li Ming does well into this. Does decent. Is there any, you know, I feel like I'm missing something though. Vala's okay, but I don't think she's the best in this situation. Greymane what? There's something out there. Nazebo wouldn't be bad, actually. It would be really, really late game. But a Greymane Nazebo wouldn't be terrible either. Nazebo just doesn't die.
B-Step love their late game, but would they sacrifice too much? Triple Warrior. Lunara.
Wow. And for that to be the third of the Warriors? Ethereal.
What support can deal with Lunara now?
Karazim is the best.
It's one Buds feels confident on.
And just the wording of the question to the answer. What support can actually deal with Lunara now? None. Post 16 Mouth is the only support, or I don't even think Lucio honestly can. I think post 16 Mouth is like the closest thing to it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Lucio. But outside of those two, none. It's more of which one doesn't get wrecked hardest. And it's usually Karazim. Into a triple backline with squishy health pools, Karazim makes way the most sense for Team 8.
And there he is.
Karazim. I like B-Step's draft, personally.
You know my thoughts on Triple Warrior?
Does that mean yeah, we're going for it? I like the Tyrael.
On Sky.
I like, this triple backline with the cross supporting and the health pools. Like, as long as Lunara really doesn't get caught out, I think it'll be fine. I think it puts a lot of pressure on the Tyrael player to be on point, which last time it was K1 Pro, and it looked pretty good. So that would be enough for me to kind of lean that direction. Just 3 squishies right now in the current meta forces a lot of extremely precise and almost surgical play that I just don't know if Team 8 has. It's been a game of endurance. Now, we're far enough in Game 5, like, a lot of those kind of factors are going to come into play.
That's a great point you make. Can the Palms be on at this point? Will the Void be right? The Void Prisons be right?
I mean, we'll even take Palm. Let's be honest here. There's still only Tiger JK is the only consistent Palm-taking Karazim in NA.
I thought I remembered Buds taking it.
He's dabbled. He's one of the few that's like, I see it both ways.
Let's not waste any more time. It's time to find out who gets vengeance, who gets redemption, Team 8 or B-Step. We find out now.
So for this here on the left, we're going to have APM on his Lucio, King Caffeine on the Murden, K1 Pro playing the Tyrael, iDream on Lunara, and last here McIntyre on the Dahaka.
Team 8 in red, Buds playing Karazim, playing Arthas, the Warrior of Legend, Justin, Yoda playing Tychus this time, Glaurung, of course, playing Zeratul, and Falstad, played by Prismaticism, with Wingman.
We saw this on Dragonshire in week 1 from him, correct?
Yeah, Team 8 have for a long time been known to flex their Falstad builds.
The 4 versus 5, 5 versus 5. Calf is anchoring, catches the Falstad. But that is all. Just wanted to give each other a high five on bottom. Just, say what's up, see how things are going.
Dread, we know that B-Step has been the late game upon late game team. How much can they get behind and still come back? And I know obviously it's like, well, the game's not over until the core's over, but if they start losing keeps, is that the end?
Hold on a minute. The boop. Justing. There's no way he gets out of here, right?
He's poisoned.
There's no... All right, that is going to be the first kill. I was like, there is no way with the Lucio team tracking you down. Arthas doesn't have the tools to escape, but how many levels can B-Step fall behind in this game and still win? I'm going to be completely honest. It's around 2 or 3. Their comp, they've got Tyrael, which really kind of breaks rules really quickly on what is right and wrong in a lot of different situations, much like Zeratul can. But they are, as long as Lunara is alive, all the members are alive and not insanely out of position, they can win fights even down 16 talent tier into the composition that we see Team 8 have. It is possible, which is one huge saint.
First temple phase has started. B-Step claiming top for their own, trading out with Team 8 in the mid. Sort of a old school B-Step strategy to hold on to that top and then get bruisers later on so that they can push down the fort top to get that experience advantage going into the second temple phase.
Always using Murden to buy as much time as you can. Tyrael's one of those good ones as well. So these two in mid should be able to stall out shots, which, as we see, they should be able to get their own. fight for vision is going to be real here. Glorong, Justin looking for the flank.
APM starting to come in too. There's still plenty of shots for the taking if B-Step can move on to the point in time.
Justin's delaying. Falset and Dahaka doing what they do in the bottom lane. Nobody's moving out yet. Tiro's moving through vision. He's going to look to control drag land onto Glorong, so he has to blink right out.
Falstad's going to follow suit, flying up.
Wow. I thought for sure teammate would give it up after that trade, but no, they are going to move right in. iDream takes a lot of damage there from the nade. And the W coming out from Falstad. But teammates commits, and it pays off. They get the rest of the shots, they get the burst, and they trade.
They do, but Dahaka gets down to the bottom lane faster. It's going to start to push that, and with Giants started by B-Step, we'll see if B-Step can take that advantage to start sieging down some of the towers here in the bottom lane, prepping it for the second temple phase.
They're even on globals, so this is interesting. Almost perfectly matched on the pressure on bottom. So do we see either one overcommit pressure to bottom, or is it just like, I want to get rid of your camp and that's all I want to do? McIntyre's still not shown. Well, conveniently has now. I'm guessing both teams are just going to clear him back out. Just again, because they have globals. Yeah, it looks like that is going to be it. It's just, I mean, you know this obviously, but for people who have never seen the Korean teams play, L5 specifically is a team who just does an insane amount of commitment to the bottom half of the map in between rotations 1 and 2. And it single-handedly is the reason they just dominate on this map, in my opinion. A large portion of the reason beyond just being mechanically very skilled group of players.
Yeah, taking down the towers is amazing because if you can get a lot of the shots at the temple, even if you can only get a few before you have to leave, it guarantees that they go on the floor. And then taking out the well hinders your opponent's ability to reinitiate in a fight should you put a lot of damage down, which, of course, B-Step are looking to do now that they have Splintered Spear and Lunara.
Yeah, it's just one of those, you know, each step adds up to another. Holy cow, this, you know, a small win equals to a mid-size, which later adding up to the large there with the structures and to the forts and the shots and then removing the well. There's going to be, that was about one of the most beautiful cuts I've ever seen to a rotation in my life. Falsehead conveniently flying over his team, just like going on out.
Shoutouts to Brosidon, our observer. Give him some love. He has been working all day long, as has our incredible production team, hanging in with us through all of these awesome games.
So with that, teammate pretty much just banked on the fact that they expected Dahaka to be all by himself, which was a very reasonable thing to believe. They're actually going to do it twice. They're going to try and gank him twice. This time it should work.
Yeah, he is.
Wait. He can get out if he instantly tunnels after Helling. Wait. Too early.
Good night, sweet dinosaur.
I mean, honestly, I don't think he would have made it out either way, but it was the only way he had a chance.
Arthas build. They did it. Get excited.
Icy Talons into Rune Tap?
Yeah.
Into a triple warrior? When I say these builds, they're never supposed to actually happen.
I thought you'd be excited about that, friend.
I am. I don't know if this is the time and the place. Into a Muradin specifically, it makes me very, very timid. You know, kind of not as sold on the build. So what does this build do? Arthas just ruins souls in any kind of matchup where he has any mana whatsoever. Hold on a minute. This boss 10 still not achieved, but it will be before it goes down.
Justing.
Pops
has
army.
to use army.
That was boss control, just lost.
Yeah, that was Gust.
Tyrael is... Actually, teammate has no boss control now. Void will just buy time, but that's not enough compared to Synced and Sound Barrier. B-Step gets this boss?
They're hanging in. B-Step is not letting it go. Teammate just backs off to get their Giants. Odin goes down. This is going to be a knockdown brawl as we have Sound Barrier going down. All Warriors on the point. Sanctification, Void Prison as well.
Really good use of the Void there, actually. Stalling out perfect timing. Palm was used, but it will not be procced, especially with that. But costs a Lucio his life here.
King Caffeine drops. Justing's getting low. K1 Pro and McIntyre still on the point. McIntyre burrows. Justing super low. Archangel's Wrath may get the kills, but it's too late.
Did you see Justing Rune Tap, dude? The Icy Talons, you have to lock him down or he just auto attacks all day. He heals for so much. Dude, seriously, he was sitting at 1% for like an hour.
But also attacking
because of that build.
Super fast.
Yeah, it gives you 60% and max stacks. You get 60% of your auto attack speed, and then every 3 auto attacks, not even counting the reset of your passive, you heal for 4% of your max health. We're actually gonna, while this boss is marching on, we're gonna look at that boss fight one more time. Note the icy talons, dude.
Watch Justin. Look how low he is.
He doesn't even need his pull. He's like, kid, I've got icy talons, boys.
They just have to sit there because it's on the boss point. Oh my.
I thought, let alone did I think...
He just mounts up out of Archangels.
I mean, I just thought that was a casual, honestly, Hero League only strategy for the most part.
Today, Justin is your hero.
He is my hero. I definitely didn't think it would be a competitively viable strategy outside of rare 1v1 matchups and like absurdly CC-less compositions like, I don't know, a double front line of like a Leoric and Tyrael. That would be a good one where I'd just be like, I can auto attack this all day. Sure, I'll go for the survivability.
But for boss points, it works. He knows that they have to sit there in his Frozen Tempest.
The weirdest part about all that is what that does to the survivability of Arthas is really deceiving at first glance, because you not only increase your damage output insanely by getting the 60% auto attack speed, you increase your own survivability, but then debuffing their auto attack speed puts you in a position where you not only increase your survivability by nerfing their damage, you have now only put it that much higher. Like his trading capabilities are way, way higher with that build.
We got to pause once again.
Sorry, boys. We
had a disconnect from Prismaticism, so we'll do our best to get back in the game just as fast as we can. This is game number 5 between B-Step and Team 8. It's an important one. B-Step and Team 8 have been struggling a lot so far through Part 2. Team 8 had a lot of blame placed on not being able to scrim versus their normal scrim partners because they had to go up against both Gale Force and Tempo Storm in the first week, but now even still, going up all the way to Game 5 versus B-Step.
I do think that, with the player practice, that was one of the first questions we had. What does that really mean for the series? I think even without knowing the results of Game number 5, I feel pretty confident in saying that it wasn't just the scrims. It is, they're figuring themselves out. They're learning a bit for Team 8 as things are going on, but it very much was just a bit of a step back, just a slight one. This still should have been looking at if there was even performances between both these teams. Team 8 should be just 3-0 and out. And the fact that this is going to game number 5, it's pretty close. It does feel like B-Step has made some changes today specifically that are working well, but not enough to be able to recover the series to be this close.
Yeah, especially with the huge boss play, the boss steal that Team 8 were able to get. Guys, thanks for hanging out. We're going to take a quick break. When we get Prismaticism back, we'll see you soon.
I've been in more scrapes and adventures than I can count. That being said, I've never seen anything like this.
Hail, hero.
Is that a frog in a bubble? Oh gosh, they are so cute. Well then, there's so many friendly people here. Coming through. Love the hair.
Oh, the cavalry's here.
This place is awesome! I found some Vikings! Wow, you're big! The name heroes. Ah! Not funny!
I was once a far strider. I swore an oath to defend Silvermoon and its people to my dying breath. It was not enough. My homeland still burned. But those days are long past. And history will not repeat itself. I am Sylvanas Windrunner, Queen of the Forsaken. And if you will not serve me in this life, then you will do so in the next.
Hi friends, welcome back to HGC North America, where we are still waiting on Prismaticism to get back into the game so we can resume Game 5. Let's have a status check at least of what happened so far. We are on Sky Temple. B-Step and Team 8 are tied 2-2 in the series, so we're getting another awesome epic game number 5.
Boss steals.
But, exactly.
A boss steal happened recently, you know, where we managed to see Icy Talons, which means Prismaticin, or not Prismaticin, but Team 8 was able to take over the boss with the Arthas Icy Talons into Rune Tap survivability. Stole the boss, but the experience slightly in favor of Team 8. I believe like a level lead at this point.
Yeah, they have 13 advantage. It's like a level and a half.
Yeah, and
I think.
We have 2 shrines actually spawning. And right now, Caffeine is losing on half of the shots, while the other half are quickly to be captured by Team 8. So everything looking good for Team 8 here in the 5th game.
But of course, it is B-Step. In every single game, pretty much, they've gotten behind in the early game and somehow clawed their way back, at least the games that they have been able to win, making some huge late-game team fight that enabled them to win the game. So it ain't over until it's over. That about sums it up. Other things of note, don't forget, mark your calendars, because Heroes 2.0 is launching on Tuesday. And we're ready to get back into the game. So we'll hold off on talking about that live stream. Let's find out who's going to win.
Let's do it. We got Game 5. We are in there. Sorry, my screen started faster than yours. I got a little enthusiastic here.
I love the enthusiasm, Dread. Keep it going.
All right, so the rest of the shots going to be captured. Team 8 obviously pulling ahead by a mile when it comes to structural health and structural integrity.
Oh yeah, the top fort's pretty low. Won't take too many shots to take out. There's still 2 forts up for Team 8. B-Step can start taking those down. That could swing them back into the experience game.
The best fight B-Step will see for some time is probably going to be here into the 13 pre-16 segment of the map. Team 8 does have a lot of options to kind of say nigh to team fights. Is he gonna blind dwarf toss this? I would love you so much if he did. Sad day. I was like, how does he even know? There are a couple of heroes in the game that have weird auditory cues when you don't see them.
Yeah.
Malfurion's rule number 1, he almost always can be scouted on the map purely off of his Moonfire audio. You can hear that really almost anywhere.
You used to be able to hear Spectre Illidan
Everywhere. Period. He would just be freaking out the whole time.
I
And you're
miss
like, you really?
Yeah.
You could just play the
I
hero.
would just laugh. No, I never played it. I just laughed. It was so hilarious. Anywhere he was going. Just struggling to make it a day.
Glorong backs out, got a little soak. Rest of the members of the squad getting the experience here in mid. iDream can't really battle with this.
APM speed and boost in to help out. Feel like that window's closed for B-Step to try to get a pick. They tried to move in, but Team 8 with 16 on the cusp. There it is.
We have the shrine. 16 out available. B-Step, what are they going to do? It looks like it's going to be ridding of the camp up on top. McIntyre makes it out just fine. So they're going to lose more shots in health here. We know that the bottom keep wall has already been removed, so
Yeah.
setting the focus on to the keep. B-Step does not want to lose this keep this early, in this way, in this manner, really.
But is it?
Can you
Worth
avoid it? No,
fighting? Yeah.
it isn't. It's just like one of those...
You don't want to do it, but you might just have to.
I really wish I hadn't lost my keep purely based on the fact that I just didn't have 16 for the shots.
I think probably more. It's I really wish we didn't lose that fight on boss.
Yeah, it turns out, you know, that was a bit of a mix-up in this game.
Kerfluffle.
A kerfluffle? Is that what that was?
Yeah.
A kerfluffle. I like that one. I'm gonna steal that
All
one.
yours, friend.
It sounds like a me word.
It does sound like a you.
A kerfuffle. Fluff? I'll work on it. 16, nowhere to be found. Shots complete. Almost another keep.
Ooh. That is rough. But 16 is here, so it's time for B-Step to find a fight. We've talked about it and talked about it. They love the late game fights. They may not get a 20 fight. They're only a level behind, but with one keep down, another keep exposed, nearly down, a boss up. Dwarf toss.
Pull the
Storm
trigger.
bolt.
Didn't get the kill. At least not yet. 8 p.m.s.
He's trying.
And there is a sound barrier.
Storm
Not what
bolt.
they want.
Not hitting Justing. Maybe in trouble, but he is so healthy. They're going to dive back in. Odin here. It's a 5v5 Madhouse, except for Falstad.
He backed all the way, too. Gloron goes in, trades very well on the K1 Pro. Not going to use the Void. That was 2 for 2 when it comes to heroics. The cooldowns will complement Teammate more than that of B-Step. But B-Step still has Sanked. Things are okay. I just was really surprised to see the sound barrier panic right after the attempt to execute the kill.
Yeah, and maybe thinking that the rest of the team was going to engage in harder than they did.
I can understand that. I mean, it is the longest cast time heroic for a
Yeah.
support in the game.
The whole line has to be said. And there are many a times I've heard, oh, let's break it.
And you're
Dead.
like, what are you trying to break? My dead Lucio friend. We've got the shots. There's no world where B-Step wants to trade anymore. They are so far behind that they are, if they do not take this fight here, unless they get picked off somewhere else on the map, it's likely Teammate next fight would be either on boss with 20, or it would be over the next rotation of shots that are threatening core, again, with 20 advantage, and B-Step nowhere to have that. So this is it for them. This is the moment where they're going to be able to turn this game. This is where it starts.
They got those giants, but it took a bit to get to this mid, and that was just enough shots to take out the keep. So Team 8 start to move up to the top temple. B-Step are going to have to chase.
They are going to have to. They haven't captured the shots on top, so it's a good thing they kept some members towards mid. Teammate realized that this is about one of the only ones. Ooh. Gloron gets onto iDream. APM there to heal him up. Post 16 Lucio. Very easy to make that happen. McIntyre's decided to join the rest of the gang here up in the northern lane. They're going to look to force. No Holy Ground split yet.
All of the shots almost done in mid. Now top becomes the point of control. King Caffeine and Glaurung now trading back and forth. Caff uses Avatar and Glaurung's like, no, I'm okay. I don't want to fight this now.
Oh.
That Odin dropped down right in the middle of the fight. Sound barrier is used too, and they had to use Gust just to make sure that Yoda could stay safe.
K1 Pro is Sanctification. He gets it off before he dies. There's the Void to be able to buy a bit more time. Palm is still here for Teammate if they need it. Odin got a bit of damage there. Stormbolt not landing here.
Army is down, only Palm left once Odin drops. Thornwood Vine there for iDream as always with those low charge cooldown timers, but everything else was used for B-Step, so a lot of tools no longer at the disposal of either team, but Team 8 still maintains a level advantage and did not give any kills up to B-Step.
The rest of the shots were captured up on the mid burst. So now only shots remain here are up on top once again. Teammate, you can see them being really wanting to not trade these shots, but also not wanting to wait it out till 20. 20 would be their safest strategy now. Even if they give up all these shots, they're ahead in structures.
Somebody has to go back mid though.
Dahaka's going there right now. So Dahaka's backing out.
He's going to show maybe teammate can capitalize on that somehow.
They don't have Void, though. Glorong is looking to get that flank, adjusting. Voluntarily kind of thrown into the opponent's K1 Pro falls very, very low. Sound barrier's not up here for 5 seconds. And that means B-Step walks away.
Only a few shots left in the temple. That fort's still pretty healthy.
Are they gonna?
Or the keep.
They're gonna risk this over a holy ground game. You know, I talked about finding your inner Jimmy earlier today, and
Is this how you do it?
I feel like B-Step's on the way. They're close because this is. They know it's gonna happen, and they can't stop it. But they lose the game if they don't do it, and it's really their best hope. K1 Pro with his Q, holy ground split, to avoid the gust, which will then force a void, which then Sanct follows up. This is it, Gilly. The whole series, down to this.
One boss fight to rule them all. K1 Pro throws it out. There is El Druid's Might. It's just taken with holy ground.
They're going. They're just battling now. Caffeine's on the retreat.
That is a 3-4 man. There's a holy ground on the other side of this. Sound barrier 2. There's still shielding available. B-Step dives back in. Gust throws them back out. Boss stolen.
And this means that they are, in fact, going to just rid of the boss. How did that happen? Do you know? Did I miss something crazy? Has it been too long of a day?
The gust went out, but he was just on the point with holy ground. Like the placement, I guess. I would like to see it again.
Yeah, I have no idea. I saw the holy ground happen. I saw the gust, and I was just like, and this is free somehow for B-Step to get that invade. They got the boss. It was clearly easily dealt with. B-Step managed to get 20.
They did.
The shots are back.
There.
They cannot risk any more. Otherwise, they were going to take core health.
2 temples. The boss fight wasn't the end. We thought it would be.
I thought it very much would be.
Oh, I dream.
He's fine. No Glorong is alone. Off to the side there. First shots are going to be captured here. Members of Team 8 going even bottom, realizing they want to abuse their double keep advantage. I don't know how to break this to you, Team 8, but if that was your idea, it should have been happening about 5 minutes ago.
Shots are about halfway down.
Because now B-Step is threatening not only even an experience, but they're threatening getting keeps themselves.
Now Team 8 moves up.
They're going to kind of out of mid, move to top. Good cue there from Falstad.
Dahaka stays on the point. He can brush talk in.
Ooh, Glorong does not want to trade into K1 Pro
He was
at
trying
all.
to bait him in.
It's just that kind of day, Gil. That kind of day.
McIntyre, but not like this.
In chat, well, thank you for sticking with us after what is a sad story for 5th Games here in North America today.
It's been a day of pauses.
It has been, a lot of them. I think we're on about 4 at this point, but we are figuring it out. Keep you guys updated as we learn about what these players are doing, what's happening within the game. I thought that boss was going to be it, and with it not being it, Team 8, you can tell they had a really big lead, and they really felt like the game should have been over by now. And their play is kind of displaying this panic of like, oh, okay, what do we do now? I mean, I don't know if they have the confidence, you know, the shot calling and decision making in them to really come back from this. Even with having the lead, I think it's still hard.
Yeah, there is a lot of pressure on them. Whether it's because they took such a hit last week, or because they didn't think they'd make it to Game 5 here, or because they're worried about late game B-Step. There's a lot of things to fear, but playing scared may very well lose them the game. It lost them the boss. They did lose the boss. In a craziness, Both of the boss fights this game have been ones to study later.
They have been. It is how good is Icy Talons, and then how the hell did K1 Pro get the boss? Those are the two questions really from the bosses we've experienced here in this game.
We're gonna have to wait just a little bit longer before we can find the answer to this game, guys. We're heading to a break. We'll be back just as soon as Prismat is. See you soon.
The demon Asmodan had his ultimate victory within reach, until the opposing heroes dealt him a devastating defeat. Asmodan went back to the drawing board and rediscovered his love of the game. The Lord of Sin became the Lord of the Slam.
This is my house. Let's see if you've got game. Oh, there it is. Dude, welcome to my jam.
So, one day I wake up to find that me and my friends are lost. Again!
Oh, tarabi, tabako, fubahibahi.
No one said it was your fault, Olaf. But if there's one thing we're good at, it's...
Getting lost?
No, Baylog, we're good at...
Now what? Oh, first la verga burger, sir.
Listen, I'm trying to say that if we stick together, there's no obstacles. Oh, no! Back up! Oh, no! Like I was saying, if we work as a team, the three of us, we can accomplish anything. Don't mess with the Vikings.
That's right. Oh, Eric, I gotta go, Ramona. Please.
Now? Couldn't you have gone before we left?
Oh.
All right, we had some answers over the boss fight. It turns out there just wasn't a gust, but there was the Holy Ground.
There was a lot of weird questions on what happened there, but there's going to be the Stormbolt in the Holy Ground split. Will he get the palm in this fight? Because it's looking like he's going to need it here, but Sound Barrier?
Gusted away. Prismaticism starting to put on the damage. So is Yoda. B-Step move in. Karazim's taken out. Void Prison hits, but not in time to save the support. B-Step smells blood in the water. APM is chasing down Zeratol. That's 2 kills already in this game.
But Falstad has actually moved towards the core. It's going to be teammate trying to just buy time as best they can. K1 Pro has managed to find himself back. The shielding is not even going to be removed here, so a desperation play coming out from Prismaticism there. 3/4 of the shots still exist here up on top.
But 3 members of B-Step marching onto core.
Falstad, oh man, he already burnt his
He
flag
doesn't
too.
have Gust.
He doesn't have Gust.
20 seconds until he has it. Dahaka and Tyrael looking to join. He's trying to put as much of pressure onto iDream as he can. They're trying to push away Falstad.
He has Gust in 9?
9 seconds. APM on the
That's
core
not
2.
enough.
It's triple warrior. Falstad flies in. If he can take out iDream, it might be enough.
He's got Gust here. Let's see if it does. 70% when it comes to the core.
8 seconds until Karazim's back. Prismaticism gets taken out. B-Step have done it. 30% on the core. Sanctification now available. 11, 0%. Team 8 taken out by B-Step in game number 5.
2 series go all the way to Game 5. Both a huge underdog victory.
So not like part 1, too.
Oh,
we
no.
would go to Game 5, and then Game 5 would just be a stomp for the expected victor.
Yeah.
Not the case today, boys and girls.
We have the unexpected, the underdog is winning, no tomorrow. And now B-Step here over Team 8, the #1 placing team of all North America at the Western Clash. They got 4th at the entire event overall, higher than anybody else in North America. And here they fall to B-Step.
B-Step, who lost 3-0 to Naventic. They lost 3-1 to Team Freedom. Now finding their footing versus Team 8. Whether it's the story of wanting to do well to get revenge for losing to Team 8 earlier on in part 1. Whether it's finally, all of these elements that we've talked about for B-Step, getting a coach, putting their, heads to the ground, trying to improve, find their synergy. Something has worked here for B-Step. It was not an easy victory, though.
No, it was not. And it wasn't clean enough to walk away where B-Step obviously goes, we're the best team in North America. That's the end of that, right? There is still a lot for B-Step to make step forward. But again, it's just more of seeing the traction being gained by these groups of players that stands out. Because we felt that for a couple of moments for very few teams in part #1. But here at part 2, it feels a bit more authentic.
It really does. We're waiting on McIntyre for our interview. McIntyre showing a lot of flexing in that last series, too.
Yeah, I mean, he always has as a player. I feel like outside of maybe the first few teams he played on where his role was a bit more defined, since then, he's been all over the place and shown that he is very good on a lot of very diverse different play styles as well for the heroes. So.
Yeah, all of the team, we've known that B-Step has had this possibility of bringing so many different types of playstyles in with K1 Pro, iDream, McIntyre, many different flexible players here. And now all of that pays off. Congratulations, McIntyre. You guys just took out Team 8. I'm going to jump straight to that last boss fight. What the heck happened?
Honestly, I have no idea. I mean, the material pick was taken for that boss fight, and we gave K1 the redemption from last season, and he stole it. He got the steal. It was the only way we came back, so I'm glad that kind of fell right into our hands. So,
well, very well done. It was a tense moment. There are a lot of tense moments in this series. Dread?
Yeah, so obviously I got to speak to you just a couple days ago, but I feel like it would be nice from your perspective if you could give some of the changes and some of the things that B-Step is doing directly, as a group of players to try and improve. Because obviously today is the first day that we can see that you took out teammates. So what are some of the stuff happening from your guys' end to try and be better and a better group of players for North America in part 2?
So we recently pulled on a new coach, actually, Crunk Juice, who honestly has helped us tighten up our draft. I think yesterday you guys saw the B-Step that was last week's B-Step, and today we sort of transition into the newer B-Step where we're not drafting double support, we're not playing comps that we don't know how to play, and instead we're trying to focus on what is us, how do we succeed as a team. So like team fight driven, we were down every single game in levels, and yet we were winning team fights 2 levels down, 3 levels down. So obviously if we can continue to work on our macro play, then maybe, that'll help us out down the long run. But for now, our team fight is still really strong, so we should focus on that and continue to, increase our, macro and map play, as NA has really gotten much better at that.
McIntyre, we've seen you guys now. This is really the first iteration of a team that K1 Pro has been playing more melees now. Can you talk us through that role swap for him and how that came about and what that's providing for you guys as a team?
So I think with K1 playing melee, it's like you put Calf and K1 at melee, and they're like brothers in real life. So in game, it's like, there's the movie Slapshot. I can't think of the brothers' names, but they just beat people up in the ice rink. That's kind of K1 and Calf when they're on melees. And with me on range, I can be more vocal. I can kind of shot call a little bit for our team. We still have an open-ended shot call, but it allows me to look more at the map and then allows them to just beat people up, like I said. So it's something that we've tried both ends of, but since they kind of see eye to eye, I think the Hanson brothers, that's it, by the way, sorry. Since they see eye to eye, they really work well together. And, me and Dream work well on range. It's it just kind of worked out for us. So.
Great. Well, I really look forward to seeing more of that synergy as you guys continue to grow as a team. Any shout outs before we let you go celebrate with your teammates?
Shout out to the team, shout out to the fans, shout out to Twitch chat. Thanks for all the support, guys, and cheers for having us.
Thanks, Mac. Beast Up did it.
No Tomorrow did it.
They did. Both of them get a break before they play each other next week.
Take some time with the upset of the year and just move forward. Play each other, figure it out.